Again, Shweta, I think the point comes down to awareness. How many people whose pets are sick think that, oh, this might be my floor cleaner that is making my pet sick? They say,
Yes.
my pet is sick, go to the vet. The vet gives medicine. And again, I, as an owner, do not know that there might be some other reason that this sickness is happening.
Yeah.
My vet might not know what's happening at my house. So,
Yes.
is that the awareness? We keep coming back to this same point, and I feel like it is already gotten a little circular here.
I,
No.
I also feel that a lot of our education is given to us when we are younger. And now we are entering a generation where it is a second generation enjoying the privileges, right? Even our parents have enjoyed houses now, floor cleaners now, and like painted walls now, right? So this knowledge has not been passed on to our generation. We won't be passing it on to, our progeny either. So it's a difficult problem to think of, and it is increasing. So what can be done? What's the solution here?
I'll just take you back as to how I understood about this problem. Because, see, I have been like any normal person who was enjoying all these privileges. Um, but I had a lot of health issues, and day in and day out, when you end up at different doctors' offices without being able to find the root cause, finally, during 2021 peak COVID time, I started getting lumps here near the jaw and neckline. And there was a false diagnosis that I might be getting cancer. So even today, it's very, I get scared to use the cancer word. So I say that, there were a lot of health issues and close the chapter. But it came to a point of life and death. And at that situation, what was told to me by advanced medical system was, let's wait for 2 months so that it grows. Then we can confirm if it is a cancer and then begin the treatment. When someone has an issue, we want a solution. We want to treat it. Nobody wants it to grow so that it becomes an unmanageable situation, right? But this is our medical system, sadly. And for many things like diagnosis, it is definitely needed. But what people are missing is preventative healthcare. So when I say preventative healthcare, and when you spoke about education, India previously had Gurukula system of education, right? And in Gurukula system of education, there were practical knowledge taught to children, herbal knowledge taught to children. Now, all of this is missing in our education because all of us are educated in a westernized school thought. So, if you look back into history, there were a lot of art forms, martial art forms that have been uprooted, or a generation of teachers eliminated from the British so that the knowledge could not be passed down to the next generation. And this has happened even with our schooling system, sadly. And today, while people argue that, science is more important, science, if it doesn't have a scientific backing, it's not valid. If they look into the workings of our traditional Ayurvedic or herbal system, they will find science. It's just that for a debate, there is always, no agreement.
But when you have a population of 1.3 billion people, there is not enough cow poop and bird poop.
No, Pa. See, that is a small vision that we look at.
Okay.
So what is happening today on farmers' side, I'm from an agricultural background. The soil is becoming dead. If 5 years back they had to use one bag of, whatever thing to the soil, today if they have been using from 5 years, today they need 10 bags. the soil is dead, the crop that is produced is dead, how will you not get health issues?
So you talk about traditions being lost and going back to the study of herbology and things that we had passed down in the Vedas and all the texts and the stuff that we get passed down. But the issue is none of these were formally written, they were always passed verbally. So there is no record of it, which is why a lot of people don't know this exists. So there was a random claim that Newton's three laws were discovered by some rishi 500 years before Newton, and there are these random claims that keep coming out. And I think we've reached a point today where me personally, I'm like, I don't know how much of this is true. Therein you have the question of, okay, if this does exist, how do we find it? Like we had an episode with these guys who were trying to build alternatives to paint because they say paint is poisonous, so they're using cow dung and certain other recipes that again they say comes down from our history to use. And I say, okay, where is this history? Where are you getting this history? How are you ratifying the fact that this in fact was history? And if you're getting it, why the hell aren't other people?
My granny used to make a mixture of cow dung, haldi, and few other things, and sweep the veranda. So basically, today what we have as a portico, which is cemented blocks, would be this mixture. So the veranda would be light brown. But the beauty of it is, in heavy mosquito season also, the mosquitoes entering the house, because the house was in the center, would be very less. Now, how do I know this information? Because I had the privilege of growing up with grannies and seeing what they do. But do other people know? They don't. And just yesterday I saw a billboard which said Breakfast of India featuring Nutella jar with Puran Poli. Now, today's, I don't know, Gen Alpha kids, if you ask them what is Breakfast of India, they'll say Nutella and Puran Poli because that is shown to them. They don't know the history. And you are right that most written records in India, not everywhere, because you might know of Nalanda University. Nalanda University, they say is a gem that is lost because that place had a lot of written records by people, because there were sections of categories of people. The writers were segregated at one place, like today's Oxford University, right? They were segregated at near around Nalanda University or other universities. And the rest of the people, so I am from Mangalore, our regional language is Tulu. And in our native, people usually use folklore songs. We call it Pardana. And unless the new generation learns it, it is lost.
I have a different view on this, and there is no intent to attack.
Open to discussion.
I believe that change is a constant.
It is.
When these folklore were written, at that time it was new discovery. At that time it was some new information that humanity had come across, and now they were willing to pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
But before that, there must have been something else which had now been superseded by this. And our current knowledge base is something that has superseded whatever we knew at that time. Whether
That's true.
Good, whether it is bad,
Ha.
whether it is sustainable, whether it is not sustainable, is a question that we consistently ask ourselves. But even when I talk about your products, when I talk about Bhrsa being an online marketplace, right? All of that is possible because of the progress that humanity has made now. All of us being able to talk, us being able to run a podcast is progress that has been made by humanity today. Energy by itself, creating dams, damages the aquatic wildlife, but it is what gives us electricity.
Yes.
We keep making these, imbalanced.
This is a good discussion brought about because this is not a debate. Progress is necessary. Advancements are necessary. You are absolutely right in saying, how we get electricity, how the mode in which we are able to communicate today, all of that. The problem is when not one, hundreds of people are being affected in a negative way because in the hurry of making the progress or advancement, you're not considering the pros and cons. That is a problem.
So let's make it simpler. Let's make it simpler for the viewer, right? I am a very health conscious person. I used to weigh a lot more than I weigh now, at least like 60, 70 kgs more than I weigh now. I have lost a lot of weight, and my way of looking at food has completely transformed. Every package that I lift off of a marketplace, I read the ingredients first. I read their macro ingredients first. I read their nutrition first, and what has been put inside that is going to go inside my body. Even if I'm to consume something unhealthy like an ice cream, I'll see how many ingredients does the ice cream have. Is it a 5 ingredient ice cream, which is milk, sugar, some flavoring? Or is it some TXN903357 stabilizer nonsense that's in there, right? Since you're working in this field,